He was able to surprise as he reached in a bookshop window. Instead of his usual tray of gold embossed spellbooks the size of paving slabs, there was a large iron book of monsters. Torn pages were flying everywhere as the books grappled with each other, locked together in furious wrestling matches and snapping aggressively. Harry pulled his booklet out of his pocket and consulted it for the first time. Monster Book of Monsters was listed as a required book for care of magical creatures. Now Harry understood why Hagrid had said it would come in useful. He felt relieved. He had been wondering whether Hagrid wanted help with some terrifying new pet. As Harry entered Flourish and Bluff, the manager came and hurried towards him. Hogwarts, you got a birthday? Want to take your new book? Yes, said Harry. I need... Get out of the way, said the manager impatiently, brushing Harry aside. He drew a pair of very thick gloves, picked up a large numbly walking stick and proceeded toward the door of the monster book cage. Hang on, said Harry quickly. I've already got one of those. Have you? A look of enormous relief spread over the manager's face. Thank heavens for that. I've been bitten 5 times already this morning. A loud ripping noise rent the air. 2 of the monster books had seized the third and was pulling it apart. Stop it, cried the manager, poking the walking stick through the bars, knocking the books apart. I'm never talking them again, never. It means bedlam. I thought we'd seen the worst. We bought 200 copies of Invisible Book of Invisibilities. Cost a fortune, and we never found them. Beautiful, eh? Well, is there anything else I can help you with? Yes, said Harry, looking at the book list, and he's Unfucking the Future by Cassandra Pavlotsky. Ah, starting divination, are you? Said the manager, stripping off his gloves and leading Harry into the back of the shop. Where there was a corner devoted to fortune telling. A small table was stacked with volumes of Predicting the Unpredictable. Insulate yourself against shock and broken balls. When fortunes turn foul. Here you are, said the manager, who had climbed a set of steps to take down the thick black bound book, Unfolding the Future. Very good guide to all your basic fortune-telling methods. Palmistry, crystal balls, bird entrails. But Harry wasn't listening. His eyes had fallen on another book, which was among the display on a small table. Death Omens. What to do when you know the worst is coming. Oh, I wouldn't read that if I were you, said the manager lightly. Looking to see what Harry was staring at. You will start seeing death omens everywhere. It's enough to frighten anyone to death. But Harry continued to stare at the front cover of the book. It showed a black dog, as large as a bear, with gleaming eyes. It looked oddly familiar. The manager pressed Unfucking the Future into Harry's hands. Anything else? Yes, said Harry, tearing his eyes away from the dog and basically consulting his book list. I need Intermediate Transfiguration and the Standard Book of Spells, Grade 3. Harry emerged from Flourish and Bluff 10 minutes later with his new books under his arm and made his way back to the Leaky Cauldron, hardly noticing where he was going and bumping into several people. He tramped up the stairs to his room, went inside and tipped his book into the bed. Somebody had been into tidy. The windows were open and the stir of sun was pouring inside. Harry could hear the buses rolling by in the empty Muggle street behind him, and the sound of a visible crowd below in Diagon Alley. He caught sight of himself in the mirror of the basin. It can't have been a death omen, he told the reflection defiantly. I was panicking when I thought of taking in Magnolia Crescent. It was probably just a stray dog. He raised his hand automatically and tried to make his hair lie flat. You're fighting a losing battle there, dear, said the mirror in a wheezy voice. As the days slipped by, Harry started looking wherever he went for a sign of Ron and Hermione. Plenty of Hogwarts students were arriving at Diagon Alley now, with the start of term so near. Harry met Seamus Finnegan and Dean Thomas, his fellow Gryffindors, in quality Quidditch supplies, where they too were ogling the fireballs. He also ran into the real Neville Longbottom, a round-faced, forgetful boy, outside Flourish and Bluff. Harry didn't stop to chat, and Neville appeared to have mislaid his book list and was being told off by his very formidable-looking grandmother. Harry hoped she never found out he pretended to be Neville while on the run for a mixture of magic. Harry woke on the last day of the holidays, thinking that he would at last meet Ron and Hermione tomorrow on the Hogwarts Express. He got up, dressed, and went for a look at the fireballs, and was just wondering where he'd had lunch when somebody yelled his name, and he turned. Harry! Harry! There they were, both of them, sitting outside Florian Tedeschi's ice cream parlor. Ron looked incredibly fresh, Hermione very brown, and both waving frantically at him. Finally, said Ron, grinning at Harry as he sat down, we went Dead, said Ron simply. Mr. Weasley, who works for the Ministry of Magic, would of course have heard the whole story of what would have happened to Aunt March. Did you really blow up your Aunt Harry? Said Hermione in a very serious voice. I didn't mean to, said Harry, while Ron roared with laughter. I just lost control. That's not funny, Ron, said Hermione sharply. Honestly, I'm amazed that Harry wasn't expelled. So am I, admitted Harry. Forget expelled, I thought I was going to be arrested. He looked at Ron. Your dad doesn't know why Fred set me up, does he? Probably because it's you, isn't it? Shrugged Ron, still chuckling. Same as Harry Potter and all that. I'd hate to see what the Ministry do to me if I grew up an ant. Mind you, they'd have to dig me up first because Mum would have killed me. Anyway, you can upset yourself this evening. You're staying in the Leaky Cauldron tonight too. So you can come to Queen's Cross with us tomorrow. Hermione is there as well. Hermione nodded, beaming. My mum and dad dropped me off this morning with all my Hogwarts things. Excellent, said Harry sharp happily. So you got all your new books and stuff? Look at this, said Ron, pulling on a thin box of bag and opening it. Brand new one, 40 inches willow, containing 1 unicorn tail hair. And you've got all our books. He pointed at a large.
Was that his new wand? Is that what that set was?
That was Ron's new wand.
And what was it about it?
40 inches willow, containing 1 unicorn tail hair.
40 inches?
14.
Oh, 14. Okay.
He pointed at a large bag under his chair. What about those monster books, eh? The assistant nearly cried when we said we wanted 2. What's the letter, Hermione? Harry asked, pointing at one of the 3 bulging bags in the chair next to her. Well, I'm taking more new subjects than you, aren't I? Said Hermione. Those are my books for arithmetic, care of magical creatures, divination, and study of ancient runes. Muggle studies. What are you doing Muggle studies for? Said Ron, rolling his eyes at Harry. You're Muggle-born. Your mom and dad are Muggles. You already know all about Muggles. But it'll be fascinating to study them from the wizarding point of view, said Hermione earnestly. Are you planning to eat or sleep at all this year, Hermione? Asked Harry while Ron sniggered. Hermione ignored him. I still got 10 galleons, she said, sticking her purse. It's my birthday in September, and Mom and Dad gave me some money to get myself an early birthday present. How about a nice book, said Ron instantly. No, I don't think so, said Hermione composedly. I really want an owl. I mean, Harry said Hedwig, and you've got Errol. I haven't, said Ron. Errol is a family owl. All I've got is Clever. He took his pet right out of his pocket, and I want to get him checked over, said Harry.
And want to get him what?
Checked over.
Oh.
His Scabbers on the table in front of him. I don't think Edict agreed with him. Scabbers was looking thinner than usual, and there was a definite droop in his whiskers. There's a magical creature shop just over there, said Harry. He knew Diagon Alley very well by now. We would see if they got anything for Scabbers, and mine if you get our owl. So they paid for their ice cream and crossed the street into the magical Menagerie. There wasn't much room inside. Every inch of the wall was hidden by cages. It was smelly and very noisy, but the occupants of these cages were all squeaking, squawking, jabbering, or hissing. The witch behind the counter was already invited the wizard in a share of double-ended newts. Double-ended newts. Oh man. So Harry, Ron, and Hermione waited, examining the cages. A pair of enormous purple toads sat gulping wetly and feasting on dead blowflies. A gigantic
What was that? There was feasting on
dead blowflies.
What was?
A pair of enormous purple toads. A gigantic tortoise with a jewel-encrusted shell was glittering near the window. Poisonous orange snails were oozing slowly up the side of their glass tank.
Hello, Rolf.
And a fat white rabbit kept changing into the silk top hat and making them with a loud popping noise. Then there were cats of every color. A noisy cage of ravens, a basket with funny custard-colored furballs that were humming loudly, and on the counter a vast cage of sleek black rats that were playing the sort of skipping game and using their long, bold tails. The double-ended new wizard left, and the rat all approached the counter. It's my rat, he told the witch. He's been a bit off color ever since I brought him back from Egypt. Bang him on the counter, said the witch, pulling a pair of heavy black spectacles out of
Bang him on the counter.
Ron lifted Scabbard out of his side pocket and placed him next to the cage of his fellow rats. Stopped their skipping tricks and scribbled to the wire for a better look. Nearly everything Ron owned, like nearly everything Ron owned, Scabbard the rat was second hand. He had once belonged to her own brother Percy, and a bit better. Next to the glossy rat in a cage, he was especially woebegone. Said the witch, picking up Scabbard.
Woebegone, that's the name of that lake.
Lake, yes, indeed. Although it's spelled differently. Okay, how old is this rat? The note is quite old. He used to belong to my brother. What powers does he have? Said the witch, examining Scabbard closely. The truth is that Scabbard had never shown the faintest trace of interesting powers. The witch's eyes moved from Scabbard's tattered left ear to his front paw as a sewing machine, and said it loudly. He's been through the mill, this one, he said. He must have given Percy gave him to me, said Ron defensively. An ordinary common or garden rat like this can't be expected to live longer than 3 years or so, said the witch. Now if you're looking for something a bit more hard-wearing, you might like one of these. She indicated a black rat who promptly started skipping again. Ron with his show-offs. Well, if you don't want to replace it, you can try his rat tonic, said the witch, reaching under the counter and bringing out a small red bottle. Okay, said Ron. How much? Ouch! Ron buckled as something huge and orange came soaring from the top of the highest cage, landed on his head, and then propelled itself, spinning madly at Scabbard. No, Cruikshanks, no, cried the witch, but Scabbard slipped from between her hands like a bar of soap.
He what?
He shot from between her hands like a bar of soap.
Who shot between whose
Scabbard.
hands?
You just like the expression. But Scabbard slipped from between her hands like a bar of soap, landed splay-legged on the floor, and then scampered for the door. Scabbard, Ron shouted, racing out of the shop after him. Harry followed. It took them nearly 10 minutes to catch Scabbard, who had taken refuge under the wastepaper bin outside quality Quidditch supplies. Ron stuffed the trembling rat back into his pocket and straightened up, massaging his head. What was that? It was either a very big cat or a quite small tiger, said Harry. There's Hermione. Probably hitting her owl. They made their way back up the crowded street to the magical Menagerie. As they reached it, Hermione came out, but she wasn't carrying an owl. Her arms were clamped tightly around the enormous ginger cat. You bought that monster? Said Ron with his mouth hanging open. He is gorgeous, isn't he? Said Hermione, glowing. That was a matter of opinion, thought Harry. The cat's ginger fur was thick and fluffy, but it was definitely a bit bow-legged, and its face looked grumpy and oddly squashed, as though it had run headlong into a brick wall. Now that Scabbard was out of sight, however, the cat was purring contentedly in Hermione's arms. Hermione, that thing nearly scalped me, said Ron. You didn't mean to, did you, Cruikshanks? Said Hermione. And what about Scabbard? Said Ron, pointing to the lump in his chest pocket. He needs rest and relaxation. How is he going to be kittens with that thing around? That reminds me, you forgot your rat tonic, said Hermione, stuffing the small red bottle into her own hand. And stop worrying. Cruikshanks will be sleeping in my dormitory and Scabbard in yours, so what's the problem? Poor Cruikshanks. The witch said he'd been there for ages. No one wanted him. I wonder why, said Ron sarcastically, as they set off toward the Leaky Cauldron. We found Mr. Weasley sitting in the bar, reading a Daily Prophet. Harry, he said, how are you? Fine, thanks, said Harry, as he, Ron, and Hermione joined Mr. Weasley in the oil company. Mr. Weasley put down his paper, and Harry saw a familiar picture of Sirius Black staring up at him. They still haven't caught him then, he asked. No, said Mr. Weasley, looking extremely grave. They have pulled us off all of our regular jobs in the ministry to try and find him, but no luck so far. Would we get a reward if we caught him? Asked Ron. It'd be good to get some more money. Don't be ridiculous, Ron, said Mr. Weasley, who closer and spectacles very strange. Black's not going to be caught by a 13-year-old wizard. It's the Azkaban guards who will get him back. You'll mark my words. At that moment, Mrs. Weasley entered the bar, laden with shopping bags and followed by the twins, Fred and George, who were about to start their 5th year at Hogwarts. The newly elected head boy, Percy, and the Weasley's younger child, and only girl, Ginny. Ginny, who had always been very taken with Harry, seemed even more thoroughly embarrassed than usual when she saw him, perhaps because he had saved her life during a previous year at Hogwarts. She went very red and muttered hello without looking at him. Percy, however, held out his hand solemnly as though he and Harry had never met, and said, Harry, how nice to see you. Hello, Percy, said Harry, trying not to laugh. I hope you're well, said Percy pompously, shaking hands. It was rather like being introduced to the mayor. Very well, thanks. Harry, said Fred, elbowing Percy out of the way and bowing deeply. Simply splendid to see you, old boy. Marvellous, said George, putting Fred outside and seizing Harry's hand in return. Absolutely spiffing. Percy scowled. That's enough now, said Mrs. Weasley. Mom, said Fred, as though he only just spotted her, and seizing her hand too. How absolutely corking to see you.
Who said that, Ron?
Fred.
Fred.
I said that's enough, said Mrs. Weasley, depositing her shopping bag in an empty chair. Hello, Harry, I suppose you've heard our exciting news? She pointed to the brand new silver badge on Harry's chest. Second head boy in the family, she said, blowing his pride. And last, Fred muttered under his breath. I don't doubt that, said Mrs. Weasley, frowning and suddenly. I noticed they have made you two prefects. Well, what do you want to be prefects for, said George. Virginia revolted at the very idea. It'll take all the fun out of life. Then he giggled. You wouldn't set a better example for your sister, snapped Mrs. Weasley. Any good other brothers to set her an example, mother, said Percy loftily. I am going up to change for dinner. He disappeared and George heaved a sigh. We tried to shut him in the pyramid, he told Harry, but Mom spotted us. Dinner that night was a very enjoyable affair. Tom the innkeeper put 3 tables together in a parlour, and the 7 Weasleys, Harry and Hermione, ate their way through 5 delicious courses. How are we getting the King's Cross tomorrow, Dad? asked Fred as they dug into the sumptuous chocolate pudding. The Ministry is providing a couple of cars, said Mr. Weasley. Everybody looked up at him. Why, said Percy curiously. It's because of you, Percy, said George seriously. And there will be little flags on the hoods with HB on them. 4 humongous big hats, said Fred. Everybody except Percy and Mrs. Weasley snorted in their pudding. Why are the Ministry providing cars, Father? Percy asked again in a dignified voice. Well, as we haven't got one anymore, said Mr. Weasley, and as I work there, they do me a favour. His voice was casual, but Harry couldn't help noticing that Mr. Weasley's ears had gone red, just like Ron's did when he was under pressure. Good thing too, said Mrs. Weasley briskly. Do you realise how much luggage you've got all between you? A nice sight you'd be on the Muggle Underground. You're all packed, aren't you? Ron hasn't put all his new things in the trunk yet, said Percy in a long suffering voice. He's dumped them on my bed. You'd better go and pack properly, Ron, because he won't have much time in the morning, Mrs. Weasley called down the table. Ron scowled at Percy. After dinner, everybody got very full and sleepy. One by one, they made their ways upstairs to their rooms to check things in for the night, for the next day. Ron and Percy were next door to Harry. He had just closed and locked his own trunk, and when he heard the angry voices through the wall, he went to see what was going on. The door of number 12 was ajar, and Percy was shouting. They were here on the bedside table. I took it off for polishing. I haven't touched it, all right, Ron over bed. What's up, said Harry. My head boy bed is gone, said Percy, rounding on Harry. So is Scabbers' rat tonic, said Ron.
So is Scabbers' rat?
Rat tonic.
Rat tonic,
said Ron, throwing things out of the trunk to look. I think you might have left it in the bar.
Vegetable oil.
You're not going anywhere till you have found my bed, yelled Percy. I'll go and get Scabbers' stuff. I unpacked, said Harry to Ron, and he went downstairs. Harry was halfway along the passage to the bar, which was now very dark, when he heard another pair of angry voices coming from the parlour. A second later, he recognized them as Mr. and Mrs. Weasley. He hesitated, not wanting them to know that he had heard them arguing, when the sound of his own name made him stop and move closer to the parlour door. It makes no sense not to tell him, Mr. Weasley was saying easily. Harry's got the right to know. I've tried to tell Fudge, but he insists on treating Harry like a child. He is 13 years old, and Arthur, the truth would terrify him, said Mrs. Weasley shrilly. Do you really want to send Harry back to school with that hanging over him? For heaven's sake, he is happy not knowing. I don't want to make him miserable, I just want to put him on his guard, retorted Mr. Weasley. You know what Harry and Ron are like, wandering all by himself. They've ended up in the Forbidden Forest twice. But Harry mustn't do that this year. But I think what could have happened to him that night he ran away from home.
How did he know they were in the Forbidden Forest twice? Once was with the unicorn and once was with the spiders?
Yeah.
But how did he know?
Well, I suppose they told him.
Okay.
So, when if the night bus hadn't picked him up and prepared to bet, he would have been dead before the ministry found him. But he is not dead, he is fine, so what's the point? Molly, they say Sirius Black is mad, and maybe he is. But he was clever enough to escape from Azkaban, and that's supposed to be impossible. It's been 3 weeks and no one had seen hide nor hair of him. And I don't care what Fitch keeps telling the Daily Prophet. You're no nearer catching Black than inventing self-spelling wands. The only thing we know for sure is what Black's after. But Harry will be perfectly safe at Hogwarts. We thought Azkaban was perfectly safe. If Black can break out of Azkaban, he can break into Hogwarts. But no one's really sure that Black's after Harry. There was a stud of wood, and Harry was sure Mr. Weasley had banged his fist on the table. Molly, how many times do I have to tell you? He didn't report it in the press because Fitch wanted to keep it quiet.
He didn't what?
He didn't report it in the press because Fitch wanted to keep it quiet. But Fitch went out to Azkaban the night Black escaped. The guards told Fitch that Black had been talking in his sleep for a while now. Always the same words. He's at Hogwarts. He's at Hogwarts. Black is deranged, Molly, and he wants Harry dead. If you ask me, he thinks murdering Harry will bring you-know-who back to power. Black lost everything the night that Harry stopped you-know-who, and he was 12 years alone in Azkaban to brood on that. There was a silence. Harry leaned still closer to the door, desperate to hear more. Well, Arthur, you must do what you think is right. But you're forgetting Albus Dumbledore. I don't think anything could hurt Harry at Hogwarts. Well, Dumbledore's headmaster. I suppose he knows about all this? Of course he knows. We had to ask him if he minds the Azkaban guards stationing themselves around the entrances to the school grounds. He wasn't happy about it, but he agreed. Not happy? Why shouldn't he be happy? They had to get Black. Dumbledore isn't fond of the Azkaban guards, said Mr. Weasley heavily. Nor am I if it comes to that. But when you're dealing with a wicked like Black, sometimes you have to join forces with those you'd rather avoid. If they save Harry, then they will never say another word against him, said Mr. Weasley eagerly. It's late, Molly, you better go up. Harry heard chairs move. As quickly as he could, he hurried down the passage to the bar and out of sight. The parlor door opened, and a few seconds later, footsteps told him that Mrs. Weasley were climbing the stairs. The bottle of rattan tonic was lying under the table they had set up earlier. Harry waited until he heard Mr. and Mrs. Weasley dressing the door close, then headed back upstairs with the bottle. Fred and George were crouching in the shadows on the landing, heaving with laughter as they listened to Percy get rambling in the wrong room and straight to the bed. We've got it, Fred whispered to Harry. We've been improving. The event now we're at is Big Head Boy. Harry forced a laugh, went to get Ron a rest on it, and then put himself in his room to lay down on his bed. So Sirius Black was after him. This explained everything. Fudge had been leaving with him because he was so relieved to find him alive. He had made Harry promise to stay in Diagon Alley where there were plenty of visitors to keep an eye on him. And he was sending 2 ministry cars to take them over the station tomorrow, so that a Weasley would look after Harry until he was on a train. Harry lay listening to the muffled shouting next door and wondered why he didn't feel more scared. If Sirius Black had murdered 13 people with one curse, Mr. and Mrs. Weasley obviously thought that Harry would be panic-stricken and he knew the truth. But Harry had to agree wholeheartedly with Mr. Weasley that the safest place on earth was wherever Albus Dumbledore happened to be. Yet we could always say that Dumbledore was the only person Lord Voldemort had ever been afraid of. Surely Black, as Voldemort's right-hand man, would be just as frightened of him, and that there were these Azkaban guards everybody kept talking about. They seemed to scare most people senseless as if they were stationed, and if they were stationed around the school, Black's chances of getting inside seemed very remote. No, all in all, the thing that bothered Harry most was the fact that his chances of visiting Hogsmeade now looked like zero. Nobody would want Harry to leave the safety of the castle until Black was caught. In fact, Harry suspected that every move would be carefully watched until the danger had passed. He scowled at the dark ceiling. Did they think he couldn't look after himself? He had escaped Lord Voldemort 3 times. He wasn't completely useless. Unbidden, the image of the beast in the shadows of Menagerie Crescent crossed his mind. What to do when you know the worst is coming? I am not going to murder Cesario out loud. That's the spirit years of the mirror sleeping you. And that's the end of the chapter. And it's the end of my reading for today.
It is.
It's
Read, wonderful daddy.
no, I'm tired.
You're too tired. Had a big day. I'm making a birchbark book for my dear friend Wendy.
Wendy.
Yes.
Wendy. Is that the people you stayed at?
No, Wendy is the one that sent you the Sudoku game.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Wendy. Oh, that's the dessert lady.
No, that was a different person. That was not Wendy. It was a different. She sent you a book. Wendy sent the CD for a game. Did you ever put it on your computer? I guess not.
No.
Well.
I don't know. I didn't even realize I got it. I wouldn't know where it is now, of course. Is it in my desk somewhere? Or?
No, I probably still have it.
Oh, okay.
Probably still in the box. Now, do we have the hole punch somewhere?
I don't know. I'll check the office.
I found it.
Okay. Okay, well, maybe if you can check for that Sudoku thing
Well, it's in the box, which is in my second drawer
in your second drawer
of the dresser in our room. No, the dresser on the left side of the dresser. Right. It's in the center drawer, and there's a big box in there.
Okay. Yeah, it's a big box.
And in the big box is a box that says Sudoku.
Yeah, I see it.
You are very welcome, Mum. Okay, now covers are ready. Hello, Nolly. Hello, Nolly. You're such a nice doggy. Ho, ho, ho. You want to be spoken to also, do you? Well, you're also a nice doggy. Rolf. 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 I think these are too big. But I do have more of them, and I don't know exactly where they are. I have a whole sheet of them. Let's see if we can find them. Oops. Nope, not in there. They should be over here. This is where I would have put them. They be in there? They're not in here. They're on the table. Maybe they're still in the car. I don't know. Okay, well, let's do this anyway then. We can change them later if we need to. Hello, puppy. Hello, how are you? Is your mommy gone? Left you here? Poor child. Oh wait, I need 3 of them. Now these 3 are all silver. I think gold would look better with this. Those are not so big. This one is smaller. Is this the same size as this one? Perhaps not. Look at that. They're different sizes. I think I'm going to have to go out to the car and search in the dark. These 3 are the same. But they're way too big. No, they're not even all the same anyway. Okay, we'll just start with this. I brought them in. I thought they were in a basket of stuff. could add a whole lot more paper. You know, it would be nice now if I were to draw with porcupine quills. You know, like if I were to use 2 of them and I were to make a pattern, a porcupine quill pattern. Where's that drawing cloth? Is this the one I was using to draw it? See, if I were to make a picture out of birch bark quills on here, and then put them together, and then stitch them together. That's a thought. Otherwise, the book is done. You can add lots more paper. You can use up the paper and then throw the paper away and put more in. Or take it out. Alright, that's it. I'll see if I can find my quills. Do what I can do. Bye.